Listen. You smell something?
Welcome to T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. Music, comedy, and conversation featuring HB, the Honey Badger.
Honey Badger don't care.
Now, on with the show.
I'm ready.
Are you ready, Will?
I think so. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. This is Radio Free Roanoke, and this is episode number 96, T-Bone's Best of Roanoke show. HB, we are smack dab in the middle of the highly anticipated Twisted Track Brewpub.
Ooh.
And let's welcome our very special guest. Let's give him a very stout welcome to our special guest and co-owner, Will Landry. Will.
Yes, thank you.
Good afternoon.
Welcome.
Hello.
Well, first things first, Will. The name, Twisted Track, that just kind of jumps to your ear. Who or how did you come up with that name?
So in this day and age, it is very, very difficult to come up with original names. They haven't been, copyright or trademarked, I guess is the right term. We probably went through 100 different names before we got down to a list of about 20. Sent them out to some friends and family through a survey. And surprisingly, I guess, to some extent, that name clearly stood out as a favorite. It actually wasn't the name that I had thought would be the best, but it turned out that way. I've embraced it since then. I spent a lot of time in England as a child, and it kind of reminds me of a nice British pub name. So I like it. It's worked really well for us.
I'll say, and speaking of that, last night when I was doing a little research on your place, I realized that right across the tracks, you've got a brewery on your left, and then right down the street, you got a brewery on your right down the street, they're both on your left.
Yep.
This is kind of like the devil's triangle of craft beer here.
Well, there's a couple of, when you think of beer cities, especially in this area, you think of Richmond and Asheville in North Carolina.
Right.
And they both have these very concentrated areas of breweries. So for Richmond, it's Scott's Addition. For Asheville, it's that South Slope, I think they call it. And really, that's what one of the reasons we like this building is because we knew that there were already two at the time. The Big Lick and A Few Old Goats is a couple blocks away. Didn't know about the other one coming, but Golden Cactus opened up a little bit before us. So we're hoping that we can do something similar in Roanoke and make it a destination both for locals and for visitors.
It'd be a big tour bus destination. Easy drive, wouldn't it?
Wouldn't be terrible.
Hey, well, now tell us this. Now, when you walk in here, one of the first things that pops out is this mural on the wall.
Yes.
Tell us about the mural.
So,
it's kind of like Michelangelo snuck in here at night and did the Sistine Chapel over again. What's going on there?
It's still a little bit of a work in progress, but the guy who did it, his name is Ron Skaggs. He's actually he bartends here on Tuesday nights, and then he does the rest of the week up at the Daleville Tap House. And he and one of the other owners knew each other from that location, and at some point a conversation was had about could he do this. He's trying to get his kind of art career off the ground, and we said sure. And we kind of gave him carte blanche to do whatever he wanted. And he's done a fantastic job. Like I said, it's still a work in progress. We're going to see, especially some more activity in the nighttime setting, and a little bit more detail on the train. But
And it's titled From Sunrise to Sunset?
I don't know that he's got a name.
It appears
for it,
that way,
but
with
there
the
is a
sun
sunrise on the right side of the mural,
Okay.
and a sunset or a nighttime.
And the train itself
Yep.
is twisted track road on the side. It has I'm gonna say a pint. I'm not sure if that's a pint glass, and it's got a piece of track twisted around it. Seems to be your logo is that.
Yes,
and that's what the train is doing on a separate car, is hauling that logo.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, let's open up the menu playbook. The menu playbook, you got the craft beer, you got the wine, you got the cider, you got the food. But let me start with the food.
Okay.
We have a very good friend who came over here on, I think, opening day.
Okay.
He had a BLT sandwich.
Yeah, we got a club, probably. Yeah.
He said it was the best he's ever had.
That's right.
Ever, anywhere.
Yeah.
So
I appreciate that.
And he's a foodie.
He's a foodie.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
So
yes.
that means a lot.
So when he said it, your ears perked up.
Yep.
Now, you have a chef?
We do.
Amanda?
Yep. Amanda Ulrich is our executive chef, and she's got her staff that she runs the kitchen with. She's worked at a couple of the country clubs around town. She's a graduate from the Virginia Western Culinary School.
Okay.
And knows
what she's
all
doing.
that crowd. So she, not exactly. I don't even remember at this point. We've known each other now for quite a while from my days at Chaos Mountain.
Yep. That's your pedigree.
That was
isn't it?
my first job, my first brewing career, if you will. And so somehow she and I got connected again for this, and she put together a great little menu that we've actually kept probably 75% of the dishes that she had on the first original menu.
Well,
and it's been great. She's done a fantastic job. We've got a lot of compliments.
yes. Yeah, I've seen those too. Now, what kind of foods do you, if a person comes here, what kind of food would they expect to see on the menu? And it's restaurant quality food.
Yeah,
Yes,
absolutely.
this is-
It's quite a variety, actually. We've got everything, from appetizers to salads to sandwiches to entrees. I mean, we've got the whole
Like a full
size, the
menu,
whole
yeah.
scale kind of taken care of.
It's not just Ruffles potato chips in a bowl.
No.
Okay.
Some of the more popular ones, we have a nice twisted pretzel and either mustard or beer cheese that has sold quite well.
I heard that was good.
Our sandwiches are flying. We've got your standard burger, a buffalo chicken sandwich. The steak and cheese is to die for. The club and the Reuben are both very, very popular as well. We've gotten good compliments on those. She does basically a mini taco with some raw tuna and coleslaw and some dressings on there.
Love that.
That's been selling really, really well. We have a pizza on the menu. It's a flatbread pizza. We actually did a special our first Monday night last week with just a handful of burgers with some special toppings, and last night we did the same thing but with just the pizza.
So
just
a
to try it out.
flatbread pizza.
Yeah. Sounds
Very
great.
good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, that does sound good.
Yep.
All right, well then let's get to the main attraction here.
Sure.
The beer. How many beers you have on tap right now?
At the moment we have 8.
You
We've
got a Vienna lager?
We do have a Vienna lager.
Tell us a little bit about that. We love the other kind of Vienna
Sure.
lager.
Actually, the Vienna Lager was the very first beer that we brewed on the new system that we got when we bought the location from the previous brewery. Had a little bit of trouble with it from a procedure standpoint, but we were trying to dial everything in.
Yep.
But it sat in the tank for a while, and it matured very nicely. So we've put that on. But yeah, we've got quite a selection from a light lager that's comes in at a really low, nice 3.5%. So it's great for those people who are, the macro lager, the Bud Miller Coors, if I can say that, crowd.
Sure. Yeah, ultra.
Yeah.
And
Is that the slightly twisted?
that's a slightly twisted.
That's a great name.
Kind of let you hang in there a little longer,
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
That's what I like.
It sells
about
really
that.
well on
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon for the day drinkers, basically.
Yeah, it works for me.
Our other lighter beer is a Goza, which is a sour beer that we've got some fruit puree flavorings that you can add to it. We do have a couple of IPAs because you got to have IPAs in this day and age. We have more of a West Coast style
Union
in our
Pacific?
Union Pacific.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And our Mass Bay IPA is our New England. So that's the hazy IPA that everybody's going crazy for these days.
So there's a difference then.
There is.
West Coast, East Coast.
Yeah, the West Coast is more of a traditional hoppy, bitterness hoppy type of beer that was popular, and then the New England's kind of came around as a twist on that, and they've just blown up. I think maybe the bitterness was something that a lot of people didn't like as much.
So it's less bitter.
It's less bitter from the standpoint of flavor and taste.
Right,
yes.
compared to the hop,
just
hoppy.
about as much hops, maybe even a little bit more than a traditional IPA. But that's a whole nother conversation we could have.
Yeah. Wow. Wait. So all right. So you got 8 beers on tap.
Yep.
And you'll just continually add or take away from that menu as you need to.
Sure.
And then wine and cider.
Yep. So for the wine, we've got a couple of whites, a rosé, and a couple of reds, basically. So we'll have
Very
typically
nice,
5 or
yeah.
6 around. We might throw a sangria in there in the summer, something along that line. The cider that we have been carrying so far is from Buskey Cider out of Richmond, and it's their kind of stock flagship cider.
Yeah.
But I'm actually supposed to be tasting some more on Thursday to see if we can add something, either one or two more. We've got plenty of tap space. It's just a matter of how many do we want to serve.
Okay.
Hey, look yonder coming down that railroad track. Hey, look yonder coming down that railroad track. It's that orange blossom special, bringing my baby back.
All right, we're talking with Will Landry, Twisted Track Brewpub. What about the future, Will? You're going to have, do you think you see or envision trivia here or live bands?
Yes, so we are going to start our live bands, as a matter of fact, this Saturday. And I think we're going to continue to do that. At least we've booked through the end of January. So we'll have a Saturday night band, Saturday evening band from about 4 to 7 o'clock. Right now it's just going to be either a solo or a duo, mostly because because of COVID, we can't have 300 people in here. We've got about enough seating for 100. Once COVID is done, all bets are off, if you will.
Yeah.
But for now,
But you can safely seat 100 people in. It's a huge place.
It is a big place. It's about 6,500 square foot of customer space. We've got, like I said, about 100 seats. All the tables are appropriately distanced away.
Yep.
The staff are continuously cleaning after each table is seated and leaves, if you will.
Very COVID accessible.
And what a
we're
bar
doing everything
area.
we can.
Yeah.
Man,
Well,
this is fantastic. I can't wait till, you can stand at the bar, I guess I want to say.
no,
but
they
I know they
suggest
don't.
that you don't.
Sure, I know, but I'm sure in the future that's
yes.
what you're talking about.
Yes, we designed the bar pre-COVID in the plans, and it was to seat as many people at the bar as we could.
Sure.
And then now we can't. So
Right,
that's where we're at.
Everybody's dealing with it. I have to say, it is a benefit having the size you have here.
Yes, it is.
To be able to, people to feel good about coming here, even though it's COVID.
Yeah. And we've
stuff
got
right
such a
now.
big outdoor space as well.
Yes, you do.
Tell us a little bit about your
Yeah.
patio and
Sure.
your fire pits, because today's a nice sunny day.
It is.
So tell us what you've got out there.
So there used to be asphalt out there, so we tore up the asphalt and we put down a stamped concrete that actually looks like
Wood.
Wood planks.
Yes,
Yeah, it does.
it's really
It turned
nice.
out phenomenal. Then we built the couple of fire pits. We've got 2 pretty large, I think they're about 8x4 gas fire pits out there. We've got some sail shades up that right now aren't doing a whole lot, but in the summer should. As the sun changes its location in the sky, we'll offer some shade. But I think we've got enough seats for about 24 right now. And again, once the spring comes around, we'll probably double that.
Right. You mean outdoor seating?
Outdoor seating, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, coming from Chaos Mountain, I guess were you the brewmaster there?
I was the original head brewer there
Yeah.
when they first opened. Left there at the end of, I think, 2017.
And then being one of the co-owners here at the Twisted Track Brewpub,
Mm-hmm.
what during this whole pandemic process, what has been the biggest surprise in opening up? I'm sure there were lots of twists and turns.
So we didn't see too many delays as a result of COVID, other than perhaps there just being this boom of construction with it going on, which I don't think anybody could have predicted that either. So we had some delays from that standpoint, but otherwise it's been pretty smooth.
Okay.
Fortunately, we didn't have anybody come down with it that was either working here or any of the owners who were
Fantastic.
around. So that we got lucky there, or did what we were supposed to do anyway.
Well, I want to say this, Will, because I had come here when it was the prior brewery, and for me to say, well, you stuck some, you repainted and reopened. Wow, and that is absolutely not the case. You have like a wrought iron fence, I'm gonna say that surrounds the outdoors area. It's so different in here. When I walked in, I had been here before when it was the other brewery, and totally different.
It is
Totally, and I like. Nothing wrong with what was here.
No.
Love what you've done
Thank
here.
you.
This is good stuff.
Thank you.
I look forward. This is gonna do well.
I hope so.
What are your future plans, Will, for the place? What would you like to see happen in the next year?
In the next year, that's a good question. I mean, we're right now just trying to get this right.
Yeah. And you just opened.
And we just opened a week and a half ago, roughly.
So you're open daily?
We are open daily,
Okay.
at least for the time being. 4 to 9 during the week, 12 to 9 on Saturday, and 12 to 7 on Sunday. So we're just trying to get this right, make sure we've got all our policies and procedures for COVID in place. But
Restaurant,
but for the future, I mean, we've got a canning line that we bought from the previous brewery, so we can at some point get into some canning, and we will. But it might be the spring before we get to it.
Sure.
We do have growlers and crowlers now for to-go orders, but the hope would be that we'd be able to sell some 6-packs or 4-packs to go at some
Take
point.
with you, yes.
We also have a fleet of kegs that we also inherited, so we could get into some distribution for draft at some point. Other than that, I mean, I think we need to wait and see what happens with COVID.
Yep.
We've always said that we wanted to get involved in some charitable organizations and things of that nature, do some events for charities. We've got some ideas of some fun things that we can do to raise money, sponsorships and things of that nature. So.
And this would be a place where an organization could have perhaps a birthday party or a private
Absolutely.
function or
We have,
something. You got enough space here.
We do. We have a small banquet room that, a private room that can hold about 25 people, give or take. That we hopefully will be able to use that for birthdays and so forth. Eventually, we'd like to open up for lunch, at least some of the time, or by appointment, if you will, and host some business lunches in that room.
Smart.
That we built that room kind of for that purpose.
All right.
But yeah, we could easily give somebody a couple of tables or what have you, or a larger group. I know we're not supposed to have more than 25 together, but
Right.
and we won't. But we could certainly put a couple of tables together.
Well, I read that you're a bartender / artist in residence, Ron Skaggs, will be projected to be your trivia master.
Yes, I'm sorry. You would ask me about trivia. That's something else that we are looking to start. Might be the first of the year.
Okay.
But Ron will be doing our trivia on Tuesdays, I believe, is what we've said. So we're looking forward to that. That should draw some folks in.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now I'm gonna throw out a couple of ideas. You can throw them away in the trash can. But I come from West Virginia, Will.
Okay.
And what do you think about axe throwing? Have you
We
ever
have,
heard of that?
Yes, and we have been approached.
Not that would be an issue.
We have been approached by the group that
Maybe
operates down at Safe Side.
Safe side.
Is that
On
right?
Shenandoah, yeah. One of the great things about Shenandoah is all the businesses that are down here. We really
Yeah.
we've worked with several of them so far with merchandise and signs and things of that nature. But yeah, they've approached us. I probably need to follow up on that. That might be more of a summertime thing.
Sure.
We'll have to see how we can make that safe.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, there's a lot to it.
A little mixture there.
Yeah. Now, you spent some time in England, you said.
I did.
And some of my favorite beer experiences or pub experiences have been where they had a piano that they would play songs for a tip and everybody would sing along with them. Could you ever see maybe having like a little piano player in here to have a sing-along, or is that just too wacky?
No, I don't think it's out of the question by any stretch of imagination.
You're already going to have music with solo and duets, I guess, from what you were saying. So I'd have to think
about how we would do that. I know a few piano players who have, it might end up being more of a keyboard situation.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah,
an actual player piano type of thing. That's a possibility.
Yeah, we went to a dueling pianos thing, and we just never forgot it. How good it was, and how the crowd just the vibe was just so strong.
Much fun.
So, okay. Well, before we wind down here, tell us a little bit about your merch. You've got some stuff for sale here, hats, hoodies.
We do. We have some, kind of stock brewery T-shirts, both men's and women's, in a variety of different colors that just has the logo printed on the front. We did do a run of grand opening T-shirts, so those will be a limited edition type of thing. We've got some more winter apparel. We've got a long sleeve black T-shirt that's got the name of the brewery down the sleeve and the logo on it, and we've got some zip-up hoodies in a couple of colors. We've also got a variety of hats, everything from your standard baseball cap to a woolen, I don't know if they're wool or not, but a beanie, a winter hat, whatever you want to call it. Again, a variety of colors. I think we'll do that. We've been getting lots of requests for glasses, for people to buy glasses with the logo on them. So we're probably going to have to put an order in for that sometime soon.
My dad was a railroad man, so I just love anything railroad associated, so Twisted Track works.
It does. Yeah. And I've got one last question for you, and then I'll give you the last word.
Okay.
What's your favorite beer here?
I always like to
you don't drink beer.
No, I always like to answer that with the one that's in front of me. But, it depends. I do. My preferences do change from day to day. It kind of depends on a little bit on the weather and how I'm feeling. Like most people, I kind of gravitate towards the IPAs, although I do really enjoy the Scottish ale that we did because it's kind of a lighter beer, but it still has some malt flavor to it. I had a Goza last night, the sour, that I forgot how much I liked that beer because I hadn't tried it since we put it on tap.
Okay.
So much to drink, so little time.
There is. I am trying to run a business.
Now, your experience though overseas in Europe, or where did you say?
So my grandmother would take me to England for about a month or so every summer. She had family over there. That's where she lived. So pretty much every year from the time I was 2 or 3 until I was 13 or so, I went pretty much every summer.
Okay.
Very nice.
I don't know how they managed it, but
yeah, fantastic.
Well, I'll give you the last word, Will, and then we'll close it up.
Okay.
Anything else you want to highlight? Anything else we left out?
I mean, just that we're trying real hard to make this a consistent experience for the customers. So far, things have gone fairly smooth, even despite the enormous response that we've gotten. I mean, this Friday and Saturday, we thought last weekend was pretty good, and then we got to the second weekend, and it just blew up.
Wow.
So we're hiring some more people. We're trying to streamline processes a little bit. So bear with us a little bit if if you're in line for a little bit longer. Also keep in mind that we are dealing with COVID, so we've got to do some cleaning in between customers and so forth. But we hope people will come out, have a good time.
Your hours of operation?
The hours of operation are Monday through Friday from 4 to 9. Saturday is 12 to 9, and Sunday is 12 to 7.
And they can keep up with you on Facebook and special events.
Yep. We have a Facebook page. We have an Instagram page that we don't necessarily spend as much time on, and we probably should. The website should be up and running hopefully by the end of this week. It's something we've been working on all week with our web developer. Where else do we? Untapped is the app, the beer app that you can see what other breweries have on and check in and keep notes of everything. So it's a pretty fun little app for craft beer drinkers.
Well, Twisted Track Brewpub, this is the beginning of a beautiful relationship with Roanoke and me.
So.
Yes. And let's keep that train rolling, Will.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, buddy.
Let's have one.
Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you, Will.
You're welcome.
Well done.
Headed for the station with the bag on my back. I'm tired of transportation in the back of a hack. I love to hit the rhythm of the clickety-clack. Hear the lonesome whistle, see the smoke from the stack. And pal around with Democratic fellas named Mac. So take me right back to the track. Jack, choo-choo, choo-choo, cha-boogie, woo-woo, woo-woo, cha-boogie, choo-choo, choo-choo, cha-boogie. Take me right back to the track. Jack. Right. Let it roll. My destination will last and a light. I need some conversation to get back in the black. I take a morning paper from the top of the stack and read the situation from the front to the back. The only job that's open, take a man with a knack. So put it right back in the stack. Jack, choo-choo, choo-choo, cha-boogie, woo-woo, woo-woo, cha-boogie, choo-choo, choo-choo, cha-boogie. Take me right back to the track. Jack.
Thanks, JT.